Now we'll see who's the champion and who's the chump.
Welcome back to the Big Fight Recap here on BLTV Classic.
I feel my will is invincible.
On today's video, we look back at one of the most memorable nights in Tyson's career. A night where boxing skills were put to one side as the raw emotion of anxiety, fear, and intimidation determined the bout's outcome before the first bell rang. From a psychological aspect, it was one of the most ingenious but ruthless pre-fight strategies the boxing world had ever seen. Let's take a look.
The most difficult part about fighting is the training, because believe it or not, the easy part about fighting is the fighting.
He had a right hand, but he took a right from Tyson. And another big right by Mike Tyson.
Being one of the most well-honed, conditioned, and aesthetically pleasing heavyweights in history doesn't boil down to a gift from God or natural talent. In fact, that notion is disrespectful and diminishes the reality of what achieving near boxing perfection takes. Unconditional loyalty to the game, training, and nutrition, while setting new standards for what qualifies as hard work. A day in the life of Tyson during a training camp started at 4 a.m. No alarm clock, his body just knows. After some stretching, he hits the road for a 10-kilometer run at a decent pace before returning to bed for a quick nap. Once awake, a nutritional breakfast is washed down with a liter of water and a handful of supplements such as magnesium, zinc, vitamin D, and B complex. By noon, the hard work began. Strictly boxing-related work for the next 2 hours, including mitt work, speed, and heavy back routines. Finished off with 15 rounds of interval sparring against the usual gym rats in James Broad and Oliver McCall. For lunch, boiled chicken and rice or steak and pasta were the go-tos, often pre-prepared by Customato's wife, Camille, in the morning. To keep his energy levels high, Tyson drank natural fruit juices with every meal. Following his lunch, he was back to the gym to practice more boxing drills with Kevin Rooney, often utilizing the slip bag to perfect Tyson's peekaboo style.
You have to try to be elusive. See, as long as the fighter's trying to be elusive, you're gonna be all right. That's what I emphasize. That's what we try. That's what we got over everybody else.
Mike would then round off his afternoon with an hour of stationary bike work to loosen his muscles before a grueling 2-hour bodyweight exercise routine that involved 500 squats, 500 sit-ups, 350 push-ups, and innovative trap and neck workouts to increase his punch resistance until his third and final meal of the day at 7 p.m. After dinner, Tyson would often warm down with a light jog or long walk before spending his evening studying his next opponent with Kevin Rooney, or consuming media regarding his favorite fighters of the past. By 9 o'clock, it was lights out. And he'd repeat this routine with little variance 6 days a week for 1 month straight, leading up to his next fight.
My favorite part about training is then when the training's over and then it's time to fight, and I know I'm in supreme shape and there's no one's going to beat me.
This level of high-intensity training is rare, even among the all-time greats. Yet, just over 1,000 miles away in St. Louis, Missouri, Tyson's next opponent, Michael Spinks, shared an equal desire in preparation for battle.
Our conditioning training should be harder than what you experience in the ring.
Spinks' approach to training was more geared toward extreme conditioning, utilizing newly formed explosive routines to help prepare him for the sport's stop-and-start element. Whether it was boxing or conditioning training, he'd always rest for 1 minute and then explode until exhaustion for the next 3. That made him a machine that could turn up the pace at any moment over the course of 12 rounds. And of course, he needed to prepare for every fight at heavyweight like this because, despite packing the ability to clean someone's clock, he was a natural light heavyweight that could no longer rely on his power to dispatch his opponents. Rather, his work rate and boxing acumen were needed to beat his competitors over the distance, as he had his previous 31 opponents, including the great Larry Holmes.
I have been hit hard by some heavyweights. Found no pleasure in it.
While Tyson and Spinks were similar in their physical preparation and the credentials they brought to the ring, their personalities and mindsets couldn't have been any further removed.
I care that this was love beyond compare.
Spinks was an easygoing guy that could find a reason to smile even in the bleakest moments, while Tyson, on the other hand, presented a non-approachable, all-business persona to reflect the fear he was feeling onto those around him. And Spinks felt that fear, as was evident at the presser a few days out for the fight.
The man is not cooperative at all. He's not going to stand there, and then he just wail away, and it's,
Whatever he does, I'm confident I'll be successful.
I'll say, honestly, that it feels good to have some terror in my life, and something that really frightens me.
Well, it's just the majority of it, everything is bullshit. I just want to fight as soon as possible.
Spinks was an oddball, not easily read from a psychological point of view. However, during the entire build-up to Tyson, something was off. He constantly mentioned the fear of losing and possible retirement, despite being well accomplished, undefeated, and still in his prime years as a heavyweight.
You can always have your doubts, and you can even say to yourself that I don't think I'm going to win.
Tyson met Spinks at around 10 p.m. on June 11, 1988, or at least that's how the fans remember it. In reality, Team Tyson got to work around 9 p.m., starting off with Kevin Rooney, Tyson's trainer at the time, telling his man that he had just placed both of their purses for the fight on a bet that saw Mike win by first-round knockout. It's unclear whether Tyson thought it to be true, but Rooney later confirmed he did indeed relay that information to Tyson as they prepared backstage.
This guy is the strongest, most intimidating fighter since Sonny Liston.
As showtime approached, Tyson was set to enter the ring first, but then, in an unprecedented moment of madness, as he walked past Spinks' locker room, he punched a hole in the wall that shook up everyone nearby, more so the guys on the other side of the wall in Team Spinks.
And he's punching, standing there. He and Rooney's putting something on. He's punching holes in the wall. I'm like to myself, oh no. This guy's getting ready to fight my guy, my little guy. And he's punching holes in the wall before he goes out to fight? Oh, no.
Tyson entered the ring as the undisputed heavyweight champion with a record of 34-0 with 30 knockouts. Spinks entered moments later, also undefeated in 31 fights and recognized as the lineal champion by Ring Magazine. Yet his aura was that of a man fighting for the first time, stiff, expressionless, and cold. He was clearly shaken up by not only the occasion, but Tyson's intimidating antics before the fight.
Michael Spinks, on the other hand, dressed in his white trunks with the black trim, the white shoes, and we're just about ready to go. The opening bell, let's see what happens. Tyson attacks immediately, cuts off the ring, throws a wild right hand, but Tyson walks right through it. Tyson showing no fear, no respect at all here in round one. Absolutely no fear and no respect by Tyson for any jab or anything that Mike Spinks can do against the guy that hadn't fought in a long time, and Jerry Cooney. The right hand lands to the head of Mike Spinks. It's Tyson all the way here in round number one. Finishing shots to the body. Nothing really heavy landing yet, but he's taking them. The uppercut. Body shot. Down goes Mike Spinks for the first time.
It was an erratic start from Tyson as he pounced on a visually shook-up Spinks from the get-go, landing short, precise, and powerful hooks that broke his man down in a matter of seconds.
That was a body shot that took him down. It took Mike Spinks in. He leads to the right hand. Down he goes. I don't think you get up from this. Mike Spinks is laying flat on his back. He won't be able to do it. It's all over. Mike Tyson has won it.
91 seconds is all it took for Tyson to dispatch, by every metric possible, the greatest threat to his throne across the entire heavyweight landscape. An astronomical feat in boxing history. Nothing makes a more significant statement than a first-round knockout at this level. It was truly the night he became the baddest man on the planet.
Mike, congratulations. Did you have any premonition that it would end this fast?
My trainer told me before I left, I bet both of our purses that you knocked him out in the first round. So I thought he was serious, so just now he said it was mine. And so I went out and knocked him out in the first round.
There's an old saying in boxing, the moment you contemplate retirement, you're finished. And that was the case for Spinks, who in the direct aftermath called it a day to what was a fantastic career as a whole, but unfortunately overshadowed by a night that every elite boxer fears the most, one where everything goes wrong. And deep down, you know if you could have dealt with the fear and anxiety in a different way, perhaps the history books would read an entirely alternate story.
The only one you didn't get rid of was Mike Tyson. He knocked you out 91 seconds. Have you ever wanted to avenge that loss?
No, I just, Not really. You know, I lost one time, so I mean, I can let him have that. I'll never have that.
Spinks was a brilliant fighter with a fascinating career, and that's a story I promise to tell in a future video on this channel, perhaps in a Spinks v. Holmes recap down the line. Thanks for watching. Until next time, this is BLTV Classic, signing off.